in another form.
Okay.
Just because we withhold it at source. That is the only difference.
At source?
Exactly.
Okay.
At source implies that with time when you have a transaction, then as you supply either services or goods in excess of 1 million, that is when withholding happens.
Okay.
Yes. The reason why we do like that, at times we are not sure that when we wait for you at the end of the year or mid-year, you will come through.
Okay.
And you will represent this particular transaction. So that is why we designate agents to help us withhold, then pass over the amounts to URA.
You've said it's like any other income tax.
Yes, it's income tax, by the way.
Okay.
Just because you give it to us in advance.
All right. So
in the course of the year.
If I say, payee is its own.
Exactly. Payee is withholding also,
it is.
But from the employment income. But this is from the business income.
From the business side.
Exactly.
All right. So it has to be transactions above 1 million.
Exactly. That's a threshold. Whatever you do that is above 1 million in aggregate, even though you're going to supply these items in piecemeal, but I want the aggregate of that transaction.
This you bill us every year or every month as well, or every time I'm doing a transaction.
You're supplying today. You're supplying to Family TV.
Yes.
In the event that it's a designated agent, it has to withhold at 6%. Ultimately, that implies that they are going to pay you 94% of the agreed amount.
Okay.
And the 6% remains behind as withholding tax. Then this entity, the agent, the designated agent, has a duty to file at the end of every month. They file a withholding tax return to show us that, look here, these are the persons that supplied me to these amounts, and I withheld a 6% of this amount, equivalent to this, and therefore I am paying URA the total of what I withheld from these 1, 2, 3, 10 clients.
For me to understand and for the people to understand is, so if I want to supply Family TV with cameras,
yes,
and I bring them, Byron brings the cameras, so who withholds? Do I pay you 94% or as Family TV?
It is Family TV, provided it's a designated withholding agent. It withholds, implying that it will pay you 94% of the agreed amount worth the cameras. Yes.
I've understood.
Yes.
Okay, so how does someone become a withholding agent?
Yes.
Or
they are statutory designated in law, and we publish them in the Income Tax Act. There are a number of agents. Even via our web portal, we have a list of those that we designated, and we look at your compliance. In the event that you yourself cannot manage yourself, it may be difficult to designate you. Because look here, you're holding monies here and there from the different suppliers. How sure am I that it will come through and you will bring it at the end of the month? So we first look at you yourself as in your compliance. Then how good are you at the filing, at the payment and all that? Do you have a fixed place of abode? Can we get you anywhere? Then that's the beginning of it.
If I can't do any of those things, then
if you fail the test, then we can't designate you.
Okay.
Exactly.
But
because an agent is like you're helping us do that part, the part of that. Yes.
Do I get paid as an agent?
You don't get paid as an agent, but I mean,
but I'm helping you to that one.
No, I mean it is a noble cause. We all need to pay taxes.
Okay.
So we go through you, who has a number of suppliers, to see that you can help us withhold from them.
Okay. So in the case where I'm not an agent or I don't have that many, I might have the suppliers, but I'm not an agent.
You can't withhold.
So I can't withhold.
Exactly, because how are you going to bring it through?
But then how will I be able to tax? How will you be able to tax me?
That one you leave it to us. We'll be able to look for these suppliers.
You will look for the suppliers individually.
But even you, definitely, because what will happen in your return, you'll expense that. In your income tax return, you will expense it. That I bought cameras. Then my question will be, whom did you buy?
Who did you buy?
Then I will follow through, like the way we've been doing in audits. We just follow through what happens to you. If it was your purchase, then who sold to you?
Who sold to you?
Yes.
Then you go to that person. If it's Byron, who sold
then
to
we
you?
look at the return of that person to see whether they reflected those transactions. Once they are there, it's okay. But if they are not there, then we tell them to please amend the returns to ensure that they reflect the transactions.
Yes. Are there any other things about withholding tax that we need to know about that?
It's not only on goods and services, because what we've been talking about is on goods and services at 6%.
Yes.
But were you aware that there is withholding on mobile money? It's the agent that does the withholding.
Okay.
At the end of it, or when it comes from MTN, you're buying airtime, blah, 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 and all that, your mobile money, it happens through those two parties.
Okay. So the amount they charge me when I'm transacting or when I'm withdrawing, because I know they charge me every transaction I do.
They've already catered for that.
They've already catered for that in there. Plus
10%.
the over-the-top tax. Plus the former OTT.
Former OTT was repealed. Now we are looking at taxing the data, excise duty on the data. That is why you see data is running very fast. Because now there is a tax on it, and I mean, you need to get it.
Yeah, and I think that should then answer very many people's comments and thoughts and questions. Are like, before my 20 MBs used to take me for a long time, but now few minutes.
There you'll ask the communication company that serves you the data, what exactly happens, what gymnastics happens within to see that it runs very fast. But withholding is not only on those. It's on insurance agents, advertising agents. When they do their agency work, automatically 10% has to come from them. That's
10% now?
Yes, it's 10%.
Yeah, but the truth is we need to pay taxes. I think that's all we need to do. So it's on goods and services. You've said mobile money, mobile money transactions.
Exactly. It's on transactions that you handle with non-residents. And when you handle a transaction with a non-resident, automatically withholding is a final tax to them, because in that transaction, because you have nowhere to get them. Were you aware when you sell a business asset, you have to withhold a 10%?
No, I wasn't aware.
An asset that you've put available to be used in business is a business asset.
Okay.
Yes, but when you sell it, then you withhold 10%, and it comes back to us.
But isn't it hard to track then? For example, if I've bought, as family chief, I've bought all these things as my assets, but if I'm selling them, how will you know I've sold?
How will I know you have sold? At the end of the day, you've sold to somebody who has to reflect on their return. So I come back to you, the party that sold.
Yes, please, you sold.
And secondly, when you're selling, this is a business asset, your asset account has to reduce in your balance sheet. So I'm looking at where the assets have gone. If last year there were about 5 assets and this year you're giving me 3 assets, where did that 2 go? Did you write them off? Did you sell them? So ideally, I need to know what went wrong and what happened. It will address me of what had to be done. Yes.
Ms. Hasfa Seguya there, helping us understand withholding tax. I will never forget or won't stop asking you, how do we pay our taxes? How do we get a TIN number?
And it's the duty of the agent to file this return.
It is the duty of the agent to file the return. Because
when you withhold from me, from the other party, it's your duty to file the return and reflect. Me, the person, the payee, the person you've withheld from, I don't have any duty to file. My only duty is to avail myself for you to withhold any percentage that, depending on the nature of the transaction, then off I go. I wait for you to file. When you file and pay URA, then at the end of the day, I'll be able to generate a tax credit certificate in my login. Then I will wait for the end of the year to see how I will utilize that credit. It becomes a credit on my side, me, the person they've withheld from. Exactly. So at the end of the year, when I generate the tax credit certificates, they'll help me in my income tax return to reduce the liabilities.
All right. Yes. How do we pay our taxes?
Definitely through the bank, through the different payment platforms. We have over-the-counter, we have mobile money, we have Payway, we have RTGS, we have EFT. So you can choose.
Generally there is
any
no
of those.
way.
Mobile money, Airtel and MTN. So you choose what.
Choose either.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for coming today to help us understand withholding tax, and I hope you who has been doing a business, you who has been doing some mobile money transactions and is thinking, but they are getting a lot of money from us. Now you know better. It's withholding tax. Thank you so much for staying with us till this time, about a minute to 9 a.m. We're going to go in for a step up where we look at young businesses that are growing, but I also hope are paid their withholding tax. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much for waking up with us.
Good morning, our people. Let me hope you've woken up this morning.